And it is Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces playing against Hikaru Nakamura.
Need we say more? One of these guys is about to win Title Tuesday. Which will it be? We'll soon find out. World number 1 with white, exploding the board with c4. World number 2 going with pawn e5 here. It's a great contest in Title Tuesday online chess, and just wait till you see the stunning opposite coloured bishop's endgame on the way here. Then we get the tournament winner. Magnus tucks his bishop into bed, pawn to c ships, and now he takes the centre here, because after captures, queen takes back, there's no seahorse that can be spawned. The pawn stands there, so queenie's okay. She's not getting kicked from pillar to post. Hikaru seems to have forgotten how to play chess. That one's meant to come towards the centre, or does he have a sneaky point? Revealed, it supports the bishop development. Don't try this at home, and especially don't try this. The queen's now leaving the board voluntarily. I mean, you don't do that against Magnus Carlsen unless you've got nerves of steel and your buttocks are clenched. He's the greatest endgame player of all time. Knight takes back. This one retreats, hits the bishop, so it saves itself. And now a committal decision. Bishop takes on d5. Now, why would you give up the legendary bishop bear, normally an asset to get them working together on the opposite colour complex? Well, you leave black with this isolated queen's pawn, or IQP for short, and sometimes you got to accept it. Otherwise, take up tiddlywinks, you big wuss. Now we see the knight develop attacking it. This bishop defends it. Now this one goes to the side, looking again to pick up a bishop, maybe dominate this square, all this kind of convergent stuff. But after the bishop drops back, thinking it's a queen, Magnus now goes bishop f4. He considers bishop e3, but he doesn't like the look of this, wants to meet it with this. But Hikaru doesn't do it. He goes bishop e7, just really to whisper, stack my bishop. They love it, the top guys. Now rook fc1. There's something beautiful on the way, because after bishop e5, clearly this trio here we must call a congregation of bishops. I believe that's the correct collective noun. What do we call rooks? I don't know, a rollick of rooks, right? A stable of knights. We need to get the collective nouns going. Rook fc8, and we get a truly beautiful sight. A rook tangle. Whole board starts shaking, and we enter a parallel universe where Magnus and Hikaru no longer shake hands when they finish a game, but they hug. They hug it out, regardless of the result. It's beautiful to see. The game must go on here. Knight f4 looks to pressure the centre once more, so Hikaru gets a hop in himself. If a3, didn't really explore it, but I guess you start, no, wants to go this way, just not the best apparently. Maybe you rotate into the light squares. So in the game, Magnus brings this seahorse back, pressuring the centre, and you could keep it a bit steady here, but Hikaru brings the bishop out here. Slightly strange, you know, if pawn h4 chasing, decent move, then you're going to give that one up. I guess it is pressuring the centre, but Magnus does this. He's trying to keep the game going here. Knight c6 is played, rook d1, lots of triple whammy pressure. So now we see Hikaru give up those bishops. This one recaptures, but this is his point. He can thrust through the centre, discombobulate this guy. Didn't say that right. It could come to e4, but Magnus goes this way. Maybe looking for some nasty stuff. Hikaru carries on, undeterred. Rook d2 prepares to double stack here. And after rook d7, Magnus could expand right now. Secure this bishop from any traps. Maybe f3, g4. But he doubles up the rooks. Sorry, not yet. First b3. Now rook a d8. Now doubles up the rooks. But it isn't actually the most precise way to go, because he really needed to play f3, give this bishop some breathing room. But in the game, this was played. Now we get pawn a6, the knight chased back, and the stinky pawn to f6 played, exposing the king. But here it's actually great because you threaten g5, trapping the bishop. No time to try something like this and give room, because bishop f5, knight b4, whoops, you can tell it's late here, both win on the spot. So therefore you have to defend like this. We see it in the game, but h6 renews the threat and what to do. If g4, well, you're shedding a pawn. If h5, preparing to play en croissant, well then bishop g4. This is how the game proceeded here. Probably king f1 best, but Magnus goes wrong a second time here with knight c2. And suddenly his position's collapsing like a house of cards. Now he plays f3, but Hikaru can expand in the center. We get this huge liquidation. All of those rooks rollicking their way into the blender. And when the smoke clears, bishop backing up, soon the king's advancing, knight's getting blended off the board as well. We enter an opposite colored bishop's endgame, but Hikaru with a pawn ahead. The big problem as well is look at this 3-on-1. Now that is tough to defend, even with opposite coloured bishops. This is how the game proceeded here. Hikaru marching, slowly bringing in the pawns, very calm and steady. Magnus distracted here, and then the king steps here, getting pushed from pillar to post. Now we see the second pawn advancing and what to do. There are too many problems trying to cover both of these. Now Magnus brings the king across here, but soon scurries back. King f3, king h2, prepares to win the pawn, covered, bishop d6, king e3, and after king g1, f3, Hikaru resigns. Magnus resigns. Hikaru takes title Tuesday. I told you it's late. I'm so used to Magnus winning. Now why did he resign here? Well, imagine you check. Here's a line I prepared earlier. It's just like Blue Peter. That's a show we got here in the UK. I don't know if you have that one in the States, but they always prepare something earlier on, ready to go when they do the real demo. But it can lead to some funny moments, right? They pull something out. They've made a pig's ear of it. Let's carry on with the game here. Most people probably don't know what I'm talking about. Now we see this king march over. Just one sample of how the game could have proceeded. And this is all she wrote here. Probably a stalemate would have come. They love stale meat. Hope you enjoyed this game. Hikaru won title Tuesday, and in case you missed the incredible game played earlier or a couple weeks ago, on screen now, incredible youngster. Thanks a lot for watching and see you soon. Cheers.